So I think what she is saying here is a little bit exaggerated and it's a little bit far from the truth. She's saying that, how's it going, boys? So in the following video, we're gonna be checking out a video from a urologist that explains how to increase penis size in a scientifically proven method. So a lot of guys are asking and wondering, is there any science or proof behind it? So in the following video, we are going to be answering this question. We're gonna see if that's gonna be possible from an actual doctor. So let's begin watching this video.
The number one question I get on my social media is, how can I get bigger? How can I get longer? Or how can I get more girth? Well, today I am going to address those questions and give you the evidence behind penile lengthening treatments. I'm Dr. Rina Malik, urologist and pelvic surgeon, and a urologist is a doctor who takes care of the genitourinary tract, both medically and surgically. If you like what you see here, make sure you subscribe so you can see new videos each and every Monday. So, did you guys know that they did a survey of 50,000 heterosexual men, and what they found was that 55% of them were unhappy with the way their penis looked. When they asked those men's partners, 85% of women were satisfied with the way their partner's genitals looked. But at the end of the day, it matters how you feel about your.
So first of all, it's something that she's mentioning, and I'm realizing it as well from the people that are commenting under my videos. Most guys are simply unhappy with the size of their dicks. I'm seeing people under my comments mentioning that they have like 7-inch or 8-inch and they still want to make their dick bigger, which in my opinion, there's really no reason. I mean, you are way above average. You shouldn't want to make it bigger. However, we guys are obsessed with the size of our dicks, even when it's completely fine for our girlfriends. And as you hear from the survey, the partners of those men were totally happy with the size of their partner's dick, but still the guys wanted to make it bigger.
Appearance. But there's a lot of issues with that because pornography has really blurred the lines of what exactly is normal. So I made a video previously talking about the average penile length. And average penile length, if you look at all the data, approximately the average penile length is about 5.2 inches or 13.2 centimeters. And it's normal.
So the average penis length is 13.2 centimeters. So if you're around that length, you are considered to be average. I know that if I was 13, I would want it to be bigger. Hell, I was 14 and I wanted it to be bigger. So I totally understand you guys that you want to make it bigger, but just for you to know, you're probably above average, so you don't have to worry about it.
For penile length to be within 2.5 standard deviations of that. So either greater or smaller. And so what's considered abnormal in terms of length being too short would be anything less than 2.9 inches or 7.5 centimeters. And that's called micropenis.
Okay, so I think this is exaggerated a little bit. So I think what she is saying here is a little bit exaggerated and it's a little bit far from the truth. She's saying that small penises are usually below 7 centimeters. And 7 centimeters, I think anything below 10, you are already pretty small in my opinion. 7 centimeters, she's already going to the micropenis territory, which I think it's far from average. You're already talking about an actual medical problem.
Micropenis is prevalent in less than 1%, actually 0.14% of the population. So it's extremely rare. It can be due to a number of causes, which can include congenital abnormalities, hormonal abnormalities, previous surgeries, or cancer. But today we're going to talk about people who have a normal penile length. So while it is true that the large majority of people who are concerned with the size of their penis have a normal penile length based on these numbers, the true issue is that a significant portion of men can have distress related to the idea that their penis is not as long as they desire. And this is a form of body dysmorphic disorder, actually has a term, it's called small penis anxiety. It doesn't mean that they have a small penis, but they have anxiety related to the fact that they believe that the size of their penis is not long enough.
I think most guys have this small penis anxiety. I've had it since a young age, and from the comments that you guys are writing, I'm seeing that a lot of you guys have the exact same problem.
And the way this is defined is that people have a preoccupation or obsession of the size of their penis, which they spend over 1 hour a day thinking about this. And actually, some portion of these men can be so distraught that it can affect their activities of daily living, and some of them can end up in the hospital due to their overwhelming obsession or even have suicidal ideation. This is not a joke. This is serious. This can have real serious complications for people. And so I think it's important to talk about this because this is part of men's health. The other major issue with this problem is that if you Google, how am I gonna make my penis longer, you'll be inundated with tons and tons of websites and information that may or may not be reputable. Many people will go abroad or find non-licensed providers to do things to them that can have dramatic consequences. So please don't do that. Look for a reputable urologist.
So now she's mentioning something that I've mentioned in so many of my previous videos. Do not ever go on Google and try searching for how to make your penis bigger or pills to make your penis bigger. You are gonna be bombarded with every single piece of spam on the web. This has been like the oldest way of scamming men because people know, or advertisers know, that we are obsessed with the sizes of our dicks. So they spent a lot of efforts trying to rank first on Google, and they pay a lot of money on those ads, and they try their best. There's massive competition of people trying to compete on this first spot on Google. And the fact that you see it on the first result on Google does not mean it's reputable. What it means is the team behind it is really good at search engine optimization and they managed to rank it on the first result of Google, but that doesn't mean that you should trust this website. And I don't care what they mention on that page, trust me, they mastered the art of faking this information and making it look legit. So I highly recommend you to actually listen to people like this woman right here that is an actual certified doctor, a urologist that knows what she's talking about, and not to some random article on Google.
Psychologists to help you with these issues. I will also preface the rest of the information that I'm going to share on this video by telling you that the Sexual Medicine Society of North America states that procedures for penile lengthening or girth enhancement are not recommended and considered experimental unless they are in context of someone who has a micropenis. So the things I'm about to tell you are in the literature for urology and have some data to support them. However, before doing any of these things, please establish care with a urologist who is familiar with these things. As a caveat, I do not discuss or offer treatment for penile lengthening in my practice, but because this is such an important topic, I went ahead and did the research for you guys. There are two categories of treatment options available to people who suffer from small penis anxiety or distress due to the belief that their penis is smaller than normal. And for those people, there are non-surgical treatments and there are surgical options that are reported in the literature. Starting off with non-surgical treatments, psychological counseling. So there are validated measures and questionnaires and assessments that can be done to help you understand what normal penile size is and also help you deal with some of these anxious feelings. Interestingly, when you look at people who've undergone just psychological counseling and nothing else, the large majority of men no longer want to look for any other treatment, whether it's non-surgical or surgical, to enhance the length of their penis. So this is big. I would recommend anyone who's suffering from anxiety to please seek out psychological care to help you with this anxiety. There are three other non-surgical options. One is penile extenders, two is vacuum erection devices, and three is penile injectable treatments.
All right, so as I mentioned in previous videos, and the doctor is mentioning it as well, the number one non-surgical way to increase the size of your penis is penis extenders. Number two is vacuum devices, which can be categorized under penis extenders. Some of them also vacuum the head of your penis to stretch it, but vacuums, I don't think they are going to make your penis longer as much as they are gonna make it thicker. I'm personally not a big fan of vacuum devices. And number three is penis injection treatment, which is basically like fillers that they inject into your dick makes it thicker or longer. However, let's find out what the doctor is gonna say.
The only one of these three that has any data to suggest it actually results in penile enhancement, as in length, is specifically penile extenders.
So she is repeating exactly what I said. Is the only method of those non-surgical ways that is proven to work is that penis extenders. So even a doctor agrees with that. That is obviously backed by some research, by some proof. She cannot just like say it on a video to 6 million people if there's no evidence behind it.
And penile extenders are essentially a device that has a hole in which you put the penis, as well as 2 metal rods on either side, and then a silicone circle at the end to hold the glands in place. And it slowly and mechanically applies traction.
Okay, so she obviously doesn't know about the more advanced penis extenders. She's showing, in my opinion, the worst penis extenders, the more traditional ones, the ones that have been on the market for 20 or 30 years. I highly recommend you to not buy the penis extender that she is mentioning in the video. If you do buy it, you're just gonna realize it's a massive mistake because it's impossible to wear, it's super uncomfortable. So if you're gonna buy any penis extender, I'm gonna leave the one that I personally use down in the description of this video below, which is the one that I found the most comfortable. But yeah, I don't recommend you to buy this kind of penis extender. If you are gonna buy one, try searching for the ones that have the vacuum head, because they are much more comfortable to wear, much safer, because the one she's showing on the video right now has a strap, and this strap is supposedly gonna choke your dick, and this is how it's gonna hold it to create the stretch. So if you're gonna choke your dick with a plastic strap like this one, and you're gonna prevent the blood flow to the head of your penis, you don't have to be a scientist to realize that it's gonna be harmful for your dick. You're gonna harm the blood vessels on your dick. So I recommend you just don't use the one she's mentioning on the video. I do realize that she's not that familiar with all the penis extenders on the market, and that's why she's showing the obvious one.
Traction to the penis to provide length. And it does this over a course of many months and with a lot of time dedicated to it in each day. And when you look at the data, people who religiously used these penile traction devices actually did gain some length on their penis, and they measured their penile length by a flaccid length as well as a flaccid stretch length. In urology, we use a flaccid stretch length to estimate the size of an erect penis. So the flaccid stretch length has actually been compared to the erect length and has been shown to be very similar for measurement purposes. So what was the end gain after months and months of daily use? About 2 centimeters.
Okay, so she's saying that after using it religiously, consistently for months and months, the gains that people recorded were 2 centimeters or around 1 inch, which in my opinion, it's pretty good. Like, you can't expect to gain like 5. And again, it also depends on your initial size, which she is not mentioning in this video, because you really have to compare the gain compared to what you started with, right? Now, if you started with a micro penis that was like 2.5 inches or 7 centimeters, 2 centimeters extra is a massive length. It's like 20 to 30%. So in my opinion, this is a significant result.
So there was a gain, however, it was very, very small. So you have
2 centimeters or 1 inch is not very small in my opinion. And not just that, but she's not talking about the fact that those guys can continue wearing this device and gain more length. But regardless, in my opinion, you know, if you compare, I don't know, 15 centimeters to 17 or 18 centimeters, this is a big difference. And that's a difference between you not reaching the end of her pussy and you are reaching the end of her pussy with the 3 centimeters extra. So I personally gained 1 inch, just like she mentions in this video. I have my before and after photos on my OnlyFans. I don't want to post them here on YouTube, so you guys can check them out in the link that I'm gonna leave in the description of the video below.
You have to be extremely compliant, do this daily for several hours a day to achieve the desired effect. Also, there are some complications. This can include numbness, bruising, or overall just lack of efficacy. You can spend a lot of time doing this and see no benefit. So this is the only thing that has been shown in the literature to have consistently good results with very low side effects. The other option.
So as she mentions in this video, and that's a point that I wanted to bring across, is that this is the best way to make your dick bigger without any side effects, or with minimal side effects. Now again, the bruises and the stuff she's mentioning in this video, you have to understand that penis extenders have developed quite a bit in the past decade, and now there are quite comfortable penis extenders that avoid all those issues. And if you compare that to actually having a surgery, the side effects of wearing a penis extender is like minimal, like minuscule. There is barely any side effects, and on top of that there's minimal risk, and not to mention the cost of the penis extender that is like $300 to $400 for the best penis extender that I personally use, compared to the price of a surgery that is probably going to be thousands of dollars. So in my opinion, the best way is going to be the penis extender, but I want to keep listening to see what she has to say.
Options, vacuum erection devices specifically did not increase penile length at all. And
another point that I've been saying in my videos, that the vacuum stuff, the penis pumps, are not gonna make your dick bigger. I personally tried it for a long time in the past, never gotten any results. If anything, I felt like my erections were getting weaker for some reason. So she's mentioning the exact same thing that is backed by science and backed by studies.
Lastly, penile injections. There are a number of different penile injections out there that have been tried, used, and many of them have had devastating complications. So I do not recommend doing any penile injections. In fact, next week I'm going to be talking a little bit about the history of penile injections and what types of penile injections people have done with good results, bad results. Again, right now the data is not strong enough to recommend any sort of injection in the penis, and as I mentioned, you can have devastating complications up.
Okay, again, I mean, you don't need a doctor to tell you that. Don't inject stuff to your dick. Like, you don't have to be a scientist to know it. And on top of this, there's major risks that are involved with injecting stuff to your dick. So avoid that. Try to use the natural way, the stretching way. I know it takes time and consistency and some hours, but this is the safe way. This is the proven way so far.
Up to 40 years after getting a penile injection. So please do not inject anything into your penis. As far as surgical treatments, a lot of different surgical options have been discussed and written out in the literature. One of the most common ones is a suspensory ligament incision. And what that is the penis is held to the pubic bone, which is the bone right in front of your penis, by a ligament. And by releasing that ligament, you can give a little bit more length to the penis. However, this is not without complications. There are also a number of other techniques using different flaps, grafts, and even using rib cartilage to help increase the length of your penis. And all of these overall have poor outcomes with poor satisfaction. The studies that have actually been able to give results on these particular surgeries have not been really rigorously reported. So at this time, we cannot recommend a surgery to increase your penile length that is not without a multitude of complications. The only time that you should proceed with any surgery for penile lengthening would be in the context of a clinical trial. And what is a clinical trial? Well, a clinical trial is one that is done at an institution where there is an institutional review board, or IRB. What that IRB does is it makes sure that any study that is done in that institution is safe and ethical to be done on human patients.
Okay, so bottom line, what she's saying is that the surgeries have really high risk, and most people that do the surgeries are not satisfied with the results. Not to mention, I don't know about you, do you really want to cut a part above your dick? Something she's not mentioning as well is that after you do the surgery, you know how when you get hard, your dick would actually like be facing forward? Something that she's not mentioning is after you cut this ligament that is, you know, on top of your dick is not going to be able to hold itself anymore. So it's just going to be hard but falling down. That is something that is not mentioned, and it's going to affect your intercourse. So you're not going to be able to do the same positions as you were able to do before, not to mention the damage and the scar that you are going to have around your dick. So I personally would say avoid all this bullshit. Just get yourself a penis extender. If you really want to make your dick bigger, you probably shouldn't. And you heard the sizes that she's mentioning, the average size that she mentioned in this video. You're probably above that size, so you probably don't need to make it bigger. However, if you're obsessed just like me, you can go ahead and stretch your dick, and you may see some results from doing so. I personally did see some results. I'm personally happy with the results I got, and I don't know, that's the only method I can personally recommend to anybody here on YouTube. So that was my take on this video that is done by this urologist, Rina Malik. I think she made really great points, and I pretty much agree with everything that she mentioned in this video. However, I can see that she's not really an expert on penis extenders, and I completely understand that. You know, it takes a lot of time to go and see the different products that are on the market and review all of them, and that's why I dedicated this channel to do so. So if you guys like my videos and you want to see similar ones in the future, feel free to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon. Let me know in the comment section below, what do you think about what this urologist mentioned in this video? I'd really love to hear your opinion. And anyways, I'm going to see you in the next video. Bye-bye.